Hello, the weekend. Time for a beer and a chat. Here we go. This is the abject failure that was the Brut IPA. Didn't get down gravity-wise anywhere near. I think the amylase was fucked. But as a beer, it's not bad actually. Clarity is getting really good. As good as I get. It's had a Protaflock in. Obviously, as I said, it didn't get out the gravity I wanted. It's got good carbonation though. I've been holding this at 20 psi for nearly a week now. It just sits at that. Temperature's at between 5 and 6 degrees on the Keezer, or certainly the water that's in there. That I have the monitoring temp. So, yeah, what can I say about it? The aroma has a nice little hint of almost like piney citrus note to it. I mean, it's Hallertau Blanc and Citra, so it should be nice enough as a brew, and it has come out really. It's actually got better than it was. There's no bitterness to this at all. Well, obviously there is. There's a balanced bitterness, but it's not as balanced as it should be, to my palate. Mainly because I was relying on it dropping and getting drier for that to then be the balance of the bitterness. If you know what I mean. There would be less sweetness to it to bring out the bitterness more, but because it finished at 1.0 or 6, I think I said it was 6 or 5, can't remember now. Either way, it was still not far enough, but the bitterness there, it tastes nice. I get a little citrus. I don't get the citrus bite I usually like when I do a Citra beer. Certainly, as I do with the Vacant, that has almost like a bite to the citrusness. You know, like biting into a lime, which is nice. I like lime. It's saying, you know, like when you have a bottle of Corona, I mean, it stops a drink of piss tasting like piss, doesn't it? Tastes nicer. So, but it has it's a little flat flavour-wise. Not flavour-wise so much. Yeah, I suppose it's flavour, but it's that balance of bitter to sweetness. I prefer a little bit more bitterness to it, but other than that, it's a nice beer. So that was the abject failure. So moving on from there, I brewed my best bitter on the Tuesday, just gone. So I've been off all this week. It's half term, so I took the week off to spend with my youngest son. The wife has worked and taken the odd day when she can and time when she can off, but yeah, she's been mostly working, so I've taken the week off. Well, I said anyway, I only do 3 days anyway, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off. It's also the wife's birthday on Monday coming, so this weekend is pretty much been. And she had Friday off, and then she's off Monday as well. So we're having like a 4-day weekend. And it's her 40th birthday party tomorrow, big family gathering. So hence why I'm doing this video today, Saturday, because I'll be a bit busy tomorrow with this party. Anyway, getting back to the best bitter, brewed this on Tuesday. It is here now, just fermenting. It went well. Brew day went okay. It was just steady away brew day. I really don't find brew days difficult. If you're brewing on pretty much a weekly basis, or as I seem to be now, back to a 2-weekly basis, yeah, probably a weekly-ish, maybe 8 days or so. Every 8 to 10 days I'll brew. Maybe 10 days, I think it is actually. It's about every 10 days I'm brewing at the minute. And when you get into that cycle of doing it gets easier, doesn't it? I mean, you practically do it in your sleep. As long as I get it all prepped beforehand. I hate having to do I've done them before. I've done a brew day in 5.5 hours where I've just gone, what am I going to brew? Make a recipe, get everything together, get brewing, and then get cleaned up and put away. I mean, that was just... that was busy. That was a full on. So you get your water on for right. You create your recipe first, so you know and work out what your malts are and that. Then you can work out what water you need. Then you fill the water up, and then you go get your malts and stuff and get everything prepped. Well, that's getting up to temp. Get your mash, get that in, and then you start sorting your hops out while you're having your mash and stuff. You know what I mean? It's not relaxing, that's for sure. But anyway, we've all done that. But I like to get it done, and this one was an easy one, very easy. Although they had a bit more to do in this because there's quite a few additions. I had a 60-minute boil edition, then I had a 20-minute boil edition, a 15-minute Protafloc edition, a 10-minute hop edition, and then a flame out whirlpool at 75 degrees. Challenger start for the boil at 60 minutes, and then Fuggles throughout the boil, 30 at 20 minutes, and then 20 grams at 10 minutes, with 50 grams for the flame out. And it all went well, all good. A little bit over the numbers, but I think that's one of the problems with the Grainfather itself, is that it tends towards 5% beers. It likes 5% beers, and will, if you try to do a low gravity, it will try and push it up. If you try to do a high gravity, it will not be as efficient. It just has this, because it is what it is. I mean, you can't change it as much. But I do have the small pipework, which I used for the first time. So it helped a bit. So I came out 1.044 rather than 1.041. So I think I'm heading for about a 4.2% beer. Which, wow, that's great. This is 5.1%. 5.12 to be pedantic, if the numbers were spot on. But yeah, about 5.1%. The Sabro Vacant, I believe, is 5%. So I'm usually hitting 5% beer. So I've dropped a percentage, which is good, around. Just because, you know, I'm just trying to drop the percentage a bit and a bit more and a bit more. Make them more sessionable. I mean, I know when I first started, it was like, yeah, 7%ers. Smash them 7%ers. Drink them 7%ers. Be sick in an hour or two and just go to bed early, you know. I like to enjoy my beer while watching the telly. Watching the football or reading a book. You know, just enjoying. In summer, sat in the garden in an evening with a good book and a few pints. You can't beat it, can you? It's brilliant. So I'm kind of trying to drop them. So the best bit is going. I used the West Yorkshire Airlies, and that was dried and kept in the freezer for at least, I think, must be a year or two now. I think it's been in there. So, and I wasn't too sure. I was like, I had a backup. I had SO4 as a backup, or worst case scenario, some Framgarden or some Hornindal. But I didn't want to go down the Clyke way because I just wanted a Yorkshire style English best bitter, nothing more. So anyway, it took a while to get going. It's trundling away nicely now. But so yeah, I added the yeast on Tuesday. The actual wort was at 12 degrees when I put it into the fermenter and started it, so that had to rise in temperature. It took overnight. It got to 20 by Wednesday, but there's still no activity in the yeast. And yesterday I noticed it had started to go. So yesterday was Friday, so put in Tuesday, so Wednesday started with at the right temp, so then Thursday, Friday. It took a good 48 hours to really get started, and then now it's trundling away nicely. I may extend the brew session that I've set up. How I normally have it is I do 5 days at 20 degrees, 2 days at 22 degrees, and then cold crash for 2 days at 2 degrees. And this does it. This gets the 22, goes up to 22 easily. I don't need the coat. I think that coat was a waste of fucking money, really. Maybe I'm doing quite 'cause I may need it, but I've had this at 22 degrees in here when it's been like frozen out there, and it's done it. And this isn't the greatest insulated of sheds. It's a shed. It literally is a shed. I've got some, that tinfoil bubble wrap stuff as insulation, but it's not brilliant. It does get cold in here, or hot in summer. So I will say that it does its thing. I mean, I'm maybe pushing it, but these things are there to be pushed at, and the limits. That's what limits are for, to be broken. Right, I think that pretty much sums up the beer scenario. I've still got a little bit of the bacon torn, pretty much a good full keg of this, and I'm hoping to get, obviously we're talking at least another 4 or 5 days before we get in the best bitter run, and that'll go on the hand pull, beer engine, and that, because it's getting warm now, we're into double figures, aren't we, temperature wise, for the last couple of days, which has been brilliant. I think that may be one of the last I get on this year, or certainly this half of the year, latter end of the year. Obviously when the temperatures start to drop again, I'll be chucking a few more on, because I do keep the keg out of the keezer. A, I don't have the space, and B, I like the serving temperature to be around 10, 12 degrees, whereas the keezer's set for 5. So that temperatures around anywhere between 3 and 6 degrees for serving, which I like for pails and such. Pale ales, Neepers, Kolsch's, lagers, all that kind of thing. I like that. Whereas the hand pull, I want it at 12ish, sort of room temperature, cellar temperature. You know what I mean? Not room temperature. So hence why it will have to be cut off shortly, no doubt. I mean March. I may get another brew in. I want to do actually. What did I have yesterday? I was out at a pub called The Lion Inn at Blakey Ridge, which is, I think, the 4th highest pub in the country. It's out near here, but it's right out in the North Yorkshire Moors, I'd say about 12 miles away, but it's like 6 miles from the nearest village, and just, it's desolate. It is absolutely desolate. It's a great place if you can get there and get snowed in. It's low ceiling, big roaring fires, lots of hand pulls, and absolute massive portions of food. Lovely food. I love it. It's all like homemade food and stuff, and I love it there. It's surprisingly, it's always packed. I mean, we went there yesterday, and we were there. They open at 12. We got there at 5 to actually inside the bar. Walked in at 5 to, because we saw someone else walking, and we're like, well, can we go in? We'll go in then. So we'll go in now. And there was about 8 tables already full. So they're busy. They're a busy place for a place that's in the middle of bumfuck nowhere. Literally, it is one of the most desolate pubs I've ever been in my life. Yeah, and they had what's called Yorkshire Blackout as a 5% porter, and oh man, it has such a great body, mouthfeel to it. It was really thick and heavy for a porter, especially. And when you drink Guinness, and it's just like piss water, isn't it? Honestly, be honest, it is a bit like piss water. But this had real mouthfeel and body, and vanilla and chocolate. There's no roastiness. Obviously that's, I guess, the porterishness of it. It wasn't roasty. It wasn't coffee. It was chocolate and vanilla, and almost cinnamon. It was lovely. I really want a recipe for that. So if anyone knows a recipe for that Yorkshire Blackout, I can't remember who brews it. I think it's something like Yorkshire Ale House or something like that. I might be making that up. I can't remember at all. But if anyone has a recipe for that, let me know in the comments, because I'd really like to put that on tap. That would be an absolute stonker of a beer, I think. So, there we go. We're done with beer, I think, now. I think I've talked my talk. Football-wise, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Hopefully Liverpool can win a cup, another cup. At least it's something. I know we're only 3 points behind Man City, but it's still Man City, and it does feel like a bit like Newcastle versus Man United, except a good Man United. Yeah, I'm not going to start all that shit. I don't mean to. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. This is after the party. There's obviously my wife, father-in-law, myself, brother-in-law will watch Liverpool. So looking forward to that. And then just want to say, go Ukraine. Fuck 'em hard. So if you got this far, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.